Good morning. Welcome in, Martin Morning Report. It's a Saturday. It's September 14th, and we got to talk about Friday night. We got to talk about it. Football Friday night. Here are some things to know. Number one, we had an Agrivision Equipment Group player of the night. His name, Joey O'Rourke from Shenandoah. 55-14. Mustangs beat Nottoway Valley last night. O'Rourke was all over it. He threw for 340 yards, 5 touchdowns, rushed for 46 and another touchdown, and it was all in the first half. Joey O'Rourke, our Agrivision Equipment Group player of the night. Cole Graham, by the way, was his favorite target. 7 catches, 177 yards, 3 touchdowns. Also last night, Trainer gets a victory over Clarinda. Jed Sorensen, 160 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. I think more importantly than that, Trainer's defense stood up against Clarinda's rushing attack. Kind of happens when you got a guy named Zach Robbins, tougher than a $2 you-know-what. Clarinda scored early on a long pass, but Trainer just kept on trending, bending that is, but not breaking defensively, and continued to handle business there on the defensive side. Other KMA land Iowa 8 player from last night, Red Oak upsets West Central Valley. Who had that one? Wasn't me. 30-22. Red Oak gets the win. Adam Beyer maybe had it. 225 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns. He also had 75 receiving and an interception on defense. In Class A District 7 last night, Riverside takes down South Central Calhoun 34-21. AC Roller had 37 rushing yards, but 19 tackles. He left the rushing to Jackson Gordon at 234 on the ground plus 4 touchdowns. In A District 8, Tri-Center rolls West Monona, 288 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns for Carter Coonsey. A.J. Harder, 4 total touchdowns. In non-district play, Harlan beat Glenwood 38-22. Gabe Arkfeld threw for 269 yards, 5 touchdowns. 4 of those touchdowns to Joseph Rice, who had 138 receiving. Lewis Central won in overtime in a walk-off by Chance Chappell, so they take down ADM in a state-rated battle. Brody Patla had 148 rushing. Brady Hetzel, 139 passing, a touchdown, plus huge drive to force overtime. Underwood, 40-13 over St. Albert. Garrett Lutt, 155 passing, 46 rushing, 3 touchdowns. Atlantic moves to 4-0. They're the only 11-player team in the state that can say that. 21-17, their win over Greene County last night. Tyson O'Brien had 231 yards rushing. Kemper outscored AHSTW 41-33. A lot of dudes being dudes. Brock Bading, 398 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Luke Sternberg for AHSTW, 238 rushing yards, 4 scores. Other winners in KMA Land 11 player, Wayne, AL, TJ, Sergeant Bluff Luton, and Lamar's. Lennox was a winner last night in the back 40 battle. They take down the Bedford Bulldogs for the first time in last 3 tries, and they do it in pretty dominant fashion, pulling away. That was KMA Land number 2, KMA Sports State number 4, Lennox over KMA Land number 1 and 3, Bedford. 55 rushes, 290 yards. Gabe Funk had 24 of those carries, 172 of those yards, 3 touchdowns. Jordan Martin England, 94 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Other KMA Land 8 player in Iowa last night, Sydney beats Griswold 44-24. Braden Gottfried, over 100 yards rushing. Andreas Buttry, 3 sacks and a forced fumble early. Cam, 66-24 over East Mills. Braden Chester, 148 rushing, 87 receiving, 4 total touchdowns. McCade Paulson, 125 passing, 166 rushing, 6 total touchdowns. Fremont Mills, 60-22 over Stanson Essex, 168 rushing, 3 touchdowns from J.W. Lincoln Hoker. Paxton Campbell, 123 all-purpose yards, 3 touchdowns for the freshman. In 8-player District 9, Glidden Ralston was the winner over Colo Nesco. In 8-player District 8, Lamoni over Mormon Trail. Big night for Ambrose Savage, 6 total touchdowns. Also, Southeast Warren beat East Union. In 8-player District 1, Boyer Valley shut out West Harrison. Owen Garside, 78 passing, 89 rushing, 2 tutties. Arweva, 42-0 over Siouxland Christian. Blaine Smith had 160 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. Wade Regalier combined for 6 touchdowns. And Woodbine rolls Newell Fonda. Non-district play, Audubon beat Xira Elkhorn Kimballton 72-0. Carson Wessel, 133 passing, 3 touchdowns. Aaron Olson, 74 receiving, 43 rushing, 3 total touchdowns. And Murray beat Twin Cedars 52-20. Also last night, Nottoway Valley, Missouri outlasts East Atchison to move to 3-0 with a big 44-18 win. Ben Cordell had 2.5 tackles for loss, 3 sacks. They held East Atchison to under 140 yards of total offense. Lane Larrabee, a huge game for him, 4 rushing touchdowns, 52 yards rushing, 75 yards passing. Other area Missouri last night, Rockport rolls along. Corbin Jacob, 4 total touchdowns. Jack Meyerkorth, 141 a return yards and a kickoff return for a score. Platte Valley rolled to a win. Ridge Clements, 190 yards rushing, 4 total touchdowns. Lucky Ferry, greatest name in the world, 121 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. South Holt, Worth County, King City, Albany, Maryville, also winners in the area. And in Nebraska, Johnson County Central, 48-14 over Falls City Sacred Heart. Jersey Graham, 140 passing and a touchdown. Cedric Fegbu, 151 rushing, 3 scores. Keegan Jones, 3 catches, 95 yards, a touchdown. Lord Central Catholic, comeback city after being come back on last week. They come back on it this week as they beat Thayer Central 40-36. Callan Schnitzer, 180 passing, 2 touchdowns, 137 rushing, 2 more scores, plus an 80-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Also last night in Nebraska, area winners were Johnson Brock, Weeping Water, Ashland Greenwood, Auburn, Falls City, Louisville, and Syracuse. Have a great weekend. We'll talk with you on Monday. Thanks for watching the Martin Morning Report special on a Saturday, talking football Friday night.